Okay, so for those of okay, so for those of you out there who are saying, you don't really need to convince me there's a problem. Hey, UX church guy, I've been in church for a while. I get it, there's a problem. What do we do about it? Like, I understand that you can't really go to a church and expect to practice Christianity, although you can receive solid teaching in some churches. I get it that the small group is more or less a spiritual therapy session once a week, and more or less people are on mission by themselves. I get it that there's a problem. I'm already on board. What do we do about it? What do you say is the solution to the problem? For those people out there, okay, my most no-nonsense, straightforward, obvious, I think, solution, albeit low resolution, proximity. I think the solution to the largest piece of the puzzle is proximity. How is proximity the solution to the problem? Okay, let me reverse engineer this for a moment to try to make sense of this. If the goal of the entire church community is to make and send disciples, love the lost and least of these, participate in all the one another's, carry the burdens, overflow the love of God onto a neighborhood. If that's the end goal, that's the destination, what's the vehicle that gets us there? I think most people agree that would be consistent Christian community. Some people call it life on life. Well, how do you create consistent Christian community, AKA the body of Christ, the body of believers? How do you create that? Well, what is that made up of? That's made up of relationships. A lot of relationships then forms community, and with community, you can do the heavy lifting. Okay, well, how do you form relationships? I think the number one thing we are lacking to be able to form relationships is time together. Now, just because you might have time around someone doesn't mean you have a relationship with them, but you can't have any relationships without spending time together. If I literally have never met someone, I will never have any sort of relationship with them. So time together is, I think, the key ingredient needed currently to then form relationships, to then form complex community, and then community can do the heavy lifting. How do you get time together? Proximity. I think proximity. It seems to be the biggest hole in the boat. It seems to be not the only piece of the puzzle, but the biggest piece of the puzzle that we're currently missing. That's my answer.